Hey guys, it's Friendly Neighborhood Doc here. I haven't talked about any of the tabloid or magazine sized issues or the distillery books in a while, so let's go ahead and dig into Blood Brothers Mother Issue 2. Okay, guys, so this is Issue 2, written by Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Risso, and in one of my previous videos about the comic book haul that I picked up, then I talked about this book a little bit, and I showed off some of the artwork. But this is a very, very solid Western. And Westerns, to me, are very hit or miss. Either they hit the mark like 3:10 to Yuma, or they are very much off the mark, kind of like Wild Wild West with Will Smith. That was a fun movie, but at the same time, it wasn't right. So, this is the story of these three brothers, and their father was a preacher, and their mother was kidnapped by a group of bandits. And so they go off in vengeance of their father, and they go to recover their mother. So this issue finds them continuing on that trail, trying to figure out what's important and what's not. And so one character goes after, I'm going after Ma, I miss her. And then the youngest brother, Jack, says, I don't want to die alone. I'm scared to die alone. So they decide to take him with them as they go. And then they run into another character, Emil. And this is Emil right here. And he's kind of another lone cowboy out there, showing about pistols and showing about weapons and things like that. And he seems like somebody who would be helpful. But as in most Westerns, the characters that you think might be the most helpful turn out to oftentimes have an ulterior motive. But I just want to keep talking about the art. Sometimes you get a book, like say the first 10 or 12 issues of Alan Moore, Bissett, and Totalman's Swamp Thing, that it is so much of a passion project that you can see that. This book is very much a passion project for Eduardo Risso. You can show off, like I said, the colors, almost again watercolor painted type colors, just like the Jeff Lemire book. You can show off the emotions of the characters. But there's so many details to this, like the fact that the horse, you see the stripes on the horse, but that's not stripes. That's where the light is coming through on this horse. And it doesn't show on the back because the back end is exposed. You see the shadowing on one of the son's faces. You see foreground and background. And you see how the beauty of the world, of the natural world, impacts the beauty of the art, of the artist. A lot of times, people have things going on in their personal lives that interfere with allowing them to get their completely distilled ideas out on the paper. They have wives, husband, children, illnesses, responsibilities other than their art. But everything in this book, for as strong as Brian Azzarello's writing is, the artwork by Risso, it just elevates this thing to the next level. It brings it out of what should be a simple story of revenge, and instead builds it up to where you care about each one of these characters and what happens to each one of these characters. They all have differences in their clothing. They all have differences in style. They all have differences in personality. But at the end of the day, the beauty of this book offsets the violence inherent in the story. And there is violence inherent in the story. They want blood. But when they come across this scene here, they see what can happen with vengeance. They see what can happen with blood. And they try to figure out exactly how far they're willing to go to save their mother. So, this book is absolutely gorgeous. It is oversized. It brings out life in these characters. And you care about these three boys as they search for their mother, as they search for redemption for the name of their father. This is really the highest praise that I can give it. This is the kind of story that would have been written in the Old West. This is the kind of story that cowboys would want to write and want to read, I think. Because it's a story about growing from childhood into manhood. About putting away the childish things and finding something bigger to base your life on. They want to believe in their mother so badly, and they want to avenge their father so badly, that they set out across this wild desert wilderness in order to get there and find what they want, what they need for their own absolution, for not being able to save their father or save their mother the first go-around. So, if you haven't checked out this book, this is probably my favorite book that Distillery has put out. I'm enjoying Spectrograph by James Tynion and Christian Ward. I'm also enjoying White Boat by Scott Snyder and Francavilla. But this, hands down, is probably the most enjoyable of all of the Distillery books that I've read up until this point. So if you hadn't had a chance to check it out, please do. Issue 2 is out now at your local comic shops. Issue 1 is possibly reorderable from that same shop. So let them know that you want to check this out. And we will catch you guys in the next go-around in the next video. Take care, guys. Have a great night.